It's good. I'm thinking about to wait for a second, man. You know what I mean? Bro, I just did some calculations in the gematria, right? Okay. Tell me why BRICC baby, okay? 22. BRICC baby equals 22. BRICC baby, 2 C's, 33. His first initial, and then he also has 2 C's. BRICC baby, 33, 22. This is coded. This is crazy. I don't know why no one has said this. I'm kind of like freaking out right now. Like, bruh, I'll do it for you. Where's my paper? Listen, bro, I swear to God, bro, that's crazy, bro. I just literally thought of that. I'm like, I need to go live right now because it's just so BRICC baby is Adam's next lamb for slaughter, in my opinion, allegedly. Why? You know what I'm saying? Why else would that be? You know, the main star of the show, BRICC baby. So it just so happens that all of the symbology, gematria equals fucking, you know what I'm saying, 22 and 33. You know, it's not a coincidence, bro, because nothing is. It's good, though. I'm dead ass. Bro. The 22 symbology, bro. I swear to God, bro. B, 22. 2 C's in the first name. BRICC with 2 C's. 33. Listen, bro, I swear. For real, though. Check it out, though. This whole thing is a PSYOP, is a distraction. This is not even a thing. All right, I got one person in here. What's good? I'm probably gonna delete this afterwards. I was just watching some Clubhouse, listening to some whack. This should be crazy on there. You know, it's owned by 2 random dudes. Clubhouse, the app, is owned by like some 2 random dudes. One of them worked for Google. I found that very interesting. I didn't really dig too, and one worked for Pinterest at some point, and like a couple other apps. But Clubhouse is, in my opinion, a very slept-on application because it's just like so free. It's probably one of the last apps you can just go and talk shit on, right? Without anyone caring about what you're saying. There's no type of moderation whatsoever on Clubhouse. However, it makes me, you know what I'm saying, a little bit skeptical that Whack 100 is, you know, such a proponent of this. Obviously, it's a good platform, but he is one of the top dogs on Clubhouse, without a doubt. So it's like, bro, this whole thing is very fishy, okay? BRICC baby, break down his name, the symbology. BRICC baby, 22. 2 C's in the first name is 33. This is a ritual. That's why everything doesn't really make sense, in my opinion. Like, not a lot of this shit makes sense because it's a coded message. Why would people come on that platform and like just spill the beans? You know what I mean? I do not get that. Unless there's some greater purpose, some plot, some formula to the situation. You know? That's crazy, bro. 20K, I can't even get a person. As I say that, what's good? Yo, BRICC baby is cooked, dog. BRICC baby's cooked. It's all in the symbology. It's all in the gematria. It all makes sense. to me at least. What the fuck do you guys think, bro? Because I've been looking at this shit and I'm like, damn, bro. I was sitting here, I'm like, damn, bro. So like, BRICC Baby 22, CC 33. That's how he stylizes his name. He's a hit. He's a lick. BRICC Baby's a lick for Adam. And if you think about it, his viewership kind of went up a lot. Every video he's posted has 150, 170,000. One of them has 300,000. So Adam is kind of, not even kind of, it's a reality. He's, growing exponentially, getting a lot of views, okay, from this situation. This is proving the narrative, proving he is just nothing but a culture vulture. This guy is not, he's picking scraps, okay? That's why people don't like Vlad TV, because they pick scraps. They'll press record, sit there, ask you a bunch of questions, not care about your state of mind, mental well-being, anything like that, and then proceed to just post that on the internet, And, there's no sympathy. So it's like almost sociopathic in nature because, there's other people who said that allegedly. This is my belief, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? I think Adam is literally like devoid of emotions, devoid of those receptors in his brain to care or give a fuck about this, thing. He could be sitting right next to you and you get your head blown off, and the only thing he'll be upset about is seeing it. He won't be upset for you. He won't be sad that you died. He's just going to be upset that he's had to see such a gruesome experience. That's like a sociopath. So it's like you can't even claim, you know what I'm saying? You should, it's odd. It's odd. And then now Suspect and Flacco have taken over the news, or not news, but the No Jumper show. The last one was just them and Lush. Bro, you got me fucked up. Something's weird's going on. He's staying out of the back because he knows what's going on. If you were squeaky clean and everything was, kosher, you would not be sidelining. You'd be stepping up front, instead of just, seems like you're ducking out right now. Adam 22 is ducking out because he's scared. He's scared. He's got to be scared. I would be scared too. I'd be horrified. But it's like this whole situation is, it's deep. And it's going to unravel itself. Just give it a couple of months. If Adam comes out of this unscathed and like nothing changes, that's how you know definitively something weird is going on. You know what I'm saying? If No Jumper just trots along like nothing happened and BRICC Baby becomes a relic of the past and all the situation just never gets spoken about, then you're probably, probably going to see something or not see anything. Because that's how you know it's all fucking planned out. Maybe not necessarily exactly planned out, but, You know what I'm saying? What's good? This is crazy, bro. Yeah, these people are cooked, bro. It's a matter of time, though. The internet is crazy, bro. Like, this shit is insane. So it's like, yeah, obviously people are going to get popped. They're speaking out loud just about random stuff, thinking it's going to get them somewhere else. It's not. It's going to get you in jail. Like, after all, the internet was designed by the government. So it's like, how do you not, you know what I'm saying? They've built a backdoor 1,000 times. They figured out how to make a backdoor without a trace. Multiple times. Multiple methods. Not just one. Or if there is one, it's foolproof. So it's like, bro, these people are already, you know what I mean? I'm just curious about this YouTube, though. It's kind of weird. How do you go like viral on YouTube? I did one time with Andrew Tate. I live streamed his release from arrest. I had like 60,000 people come in the live in totality. It was like an hour and a half long stream. I was like, what the hell? It was insane. It was absolutely insane. I had made a call line, and there were so many people that called in. It just like froze my computer, and like it just completely locked out Skype. It was insane. It was insane. It was insane. That was pretty sick. So really, I'm just like a clout goblin on here, really trying to get views and validity in the YouTube sphere. So with that being said, there's, not much method to my madness except covering current topics, giving my analysis, which I think is of worth. And, because there's a lot of people who just toe the line on here. They say what you want to say, or they're not even like with it enough to come up with other ways to say stuff to get the same point across. And I'm that guy to get that exact point across without being offensive. I'm a master of euphemisms. I'm saying I can just speak and speak. So it's like, give me another way to think about it. I'm trying to think about it. I'm not gonna say I already thought about it because I'm not that guy. But everyone can do this. Everyone can think like that. So it's like if someone tries to get you in a box, just think about a different box, or just don't even think about the box at all, and just keep thinking outside that until you can, wiggle out of that shit. But like, I'm sick of all these people just getting a heads up, or like they're getting boost. These people are getting boost on the internet. People like Adam go unscathed. Why though? Who are these people at these puppeteers? That can just say, oh yeah, your YouTube channel's cool, yours isn't. Fuck this dude. Like, who is that? It's not like the whole conglomerate. It's factions. So it's like, damn, bro. So you can say gnarly stuff and say just, saying outrageous shit, and it's okay on YouTube. But however, if you say outrageous shit, but it's like hitting too close to something that upsets one of these people, then you're done. So you're on a blacklist and forgotten about. And it's like, why did my channel just like, I got so many views and no, No, it's not, because, as a user, they've done a lot of, I'm not even gonna speak about that because they're probably gonna jock my shit too. But, it's a fair platform for the most part. You just gotta play by the rules, which is fine. I can play by the rules, and I will play by the rules. But yeah, Adam is a fucking fed, dog, in my opinion, allegedly. So that whole platform is a honeypot. If you know what a honeypot is, it's just got to be sweet and it's got to stick. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be sweet and it has to stick, to entrap. So it's like, it's more of like that, like in my opinion, like it's more like that. Like, what I'm saying? It's got to be sticky and it's got to be a trap. It's got to make a little bit of sense. You know what I'm saying? It has to have some leg room to work. That's all it is. And then you're just going to come and it's going to be disguised as something for a little while. And then before you know it, guess what? You're in a boiling pot of water. It was a jacuzzi at first. Now your fucking nerves are severed and you know what I mean? You can't even get out of the hot tub anymore. It's so hot. You just cook and fry and get eaten alive or dead. But it's like, bro, yeah, that's all it is. So these people either are actors and participants, or they are like, just ignorant players in the game, But, I feel for these people, Loose Cannon and BRICC Baby. Bro, BRICC Baby's hilarious, bro. I think BRICC Baby's fucking hilarious, bro. I'm like, bro, why do you, like, what are you doing, dude? Like, it almost makes me upset. Like, I get pissed, like, and I shouldn't get pissed because he's in prison, so that's, like, fucking crazy, But I'm like, bro, like, I fuck with BRICC Baby. He's hilarious. Loose Cannon's pretty funny, too. So it's like, damn. I was hoping that it was all a joke, It might still all be a joke. They might just got caught up, somehow, but by speaking. But this is like crazy to me. I'm like, bro, these people are funny as fuck, dude. Like, goddamn, bro, who am I gonna watch now? That's what I think. At least I'm like, holy shit. Like, but yeah, dog, I thought BRICC Baby was gonna go to the top. For real. But it sounds like he's just getting used up, bro. It's sad to say. But it's like, what I'm saying? I don't know. But if you do some fuck shit, then, you know what I'm saying? You got to reap the benefits or the consequences. And all these people, it's crazy they're talking about Nipsey Hussle and shit too. Like, bro, imagine being like, thinking you got away with something, but it's like everyone knows about it. And it's like, if everyone knew that you had anything to do with it, there are so many people that it's like you can't even predict what's going to happen to you. Like, they push that dude to be like a fucking generational icon in music, right? Very quickly. I have other opinions about that as well. But, bro, they push this guy to be like a generational icon, and you killed him? It's on the dude. You're fucked, dog. Like, you're fucked. Completely. You know? So I'm like, damn, bro, that's pretty fucking crazy. And it's your own people, too. It's like, damn. That's the only thing that tweaks me out a little about this whole situation. I'm like, oh my God, bro, these people, like, really? It's going to be your own people, and everyone's going to tell everything about it. So it's like, bro, we're living in a society, in an era now. Just don't even do shit, bro. Don't even do anything, man. Unless you're going to, you know what I'm saying, it's legal and all that type of stuff. Because it's like, dude, there's no point. There's really no point. There's going to be a point where there's no point to do any of this shit. Unless you're hip to the new system, which is going to be implemented. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be cracks and crevices. However, those cracks and crevices get expanded and contracted and change positions throughout. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So you just got to be prepared and up to date with the, you know what I'm saying? So you got to pay attention. But it's like, these people live in fucking 1995 or some shit, bro. It's, you know, and like, bro, they got keywords they're looking for. Like, it's beyond a person tapping your phone. It's like, all right, you start speaking about something using certain languages, certain words. Now you're like that. Now you're put to a queue. Now you're put to a list or something. And then these people will then verify and then watch. And then, so it's like, by that time, bro, it's probably been like a year of extensive, and they have all the backlogs. So it's like, bro, there's even taunting a person on the internet. That's implicating yourself. So what the hell are these people doing, bro? So, like, that's why part of me in the beginning, I'm like, man, these people are just like actors and shit. But then people got Ricos and stuff. And it's like, damn, bro, like, really, I'm just watching this podcast. So it's like, just as the rap music has blended and blurred the lines of reality, and it's like, you can't even get more real than the rap music. Because it's like, the rap music's even kind of watered down to the reality, But it's getting close to the core, But it's like, we're so numb and desensitized to that reality, where it's like, you got to go outlandish. And it's like, even people stretching and being outlandish with the rap music, it's not even like close to reality. The reality is so much gnarlier, So I'm like, damn, like that just blows my mind a little bit. And you're going to hear me say that a lot, but it's like, bro, I sit and think about this shit, in the totality of all of it will equate to something in my mind. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. And I see how that component can be like seen in other areas, or like, you start noticing something, you're like, damn, this happens here, 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 here. So it's like situations like this, this whole situation is very important, and people should learn from this, because it just shows you the level, you can't trust people anymore. And you probably couldn't trust people for a very long time, ever, probably. Judas Iscariot. There's a person, that's a long time ago. People have always been betrayed, but that betrayal is from like a fear or some type of consequence, All it takes is that type of pressure, You just have to apply that type of pressure, and then, it can go either way. There's people who will stand on it and say, hey, just put that, you know what I'm saying? You can take me out right now. I'm not going to lie to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell you this, or I'm not going to be your bitch. You just take me out. And then there's other people who will be like, what do I have to do to, you know what I'm saying, survive? And they'll do things and block shit out to just survive and move on to the next. There's a lot of different types of people, and more power to you. I don't blame people. But like, people will stand on it, and there's people who will not. And the rap music talks about this. Oh, yeah, I'm on 10 toes. I stand. You don't stand on shit. These motherfuckers be snitching, telling, doing a whole bunch of shit, bro. And really nothing crazy. It's like, bro, this whole thing is like some type of scam, bro. And I think that's the main point. And Adam 22, this whole platform has helped cultivate this mentality, this idea, you know, even kind of revive this knowledge of gang culture and this whole, you know, the more traditional type of gangs from that originated from the West Coast. You know, all these iconic names, Bloods, Crips, you know, that whole paradigm. And really, in my opinion, that is just literally like that's another PSYOP to make black people kill each other over a red and blue colorization, you know? But after you kill my mom or kill my dad or kill my brother, I don't want to hear nothing about none of that shit, bro. I'm going. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be enraged to a point where you're thinking beyond that anyway. So it's like you got all these people who have had wrong things done and seen so much trauma throughout these things where all that really doesn't matter, but they know what side they're on, you know? So they understand. But once you kill a family member or you hurt someone to a degree, man, you can't turn that off in a person, you know? That's why it's very important to try to cultivate positivity and cultivate good things, because no one wants to have really, there are certain people who are drawn to negative things, right? But I don't, for the most part, everyone, the general populace, they want good and they want to have a good time. So it's like the more we can maximize good interactions without negative interactions, the better for everyone. Like there's no downside to that at all, period. So whether that, there's many ways to do that. But the fact that you create like a turmoil over something that started off that didn't have anything to do with that, really. If you're looking at the history of the Crips, allegedly, they say they were a good thing, they wanted to do good and whatever, look out for the communities. But the original gangs that were preceded that really were trying to just unify and try to, stop discrimination and not be taken advantage of. These are real things. So it's like they started with a noble intention, but they get co-opted, which is so sad. You know what I mean? Why can't these people, speak up for something unjust? Like that? I don't understand why, what is this force that is like opposing that? It's like, what does it matter? What does any of that matter, bro? So it's like, I don't give a shit, bro. I had, if you're black, white, Chinese, whatever, man, just like, there's a certain conduct, there's a certain, you can be however you want, say however you want, express however you want. But it's like, when it comes to this or that, there's only a couple options. So it's like, if you want to fuck me over, finesse me, blah, 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 do all this stuff or judge you on vice versa level, it's like, not everyone is like that. Not everyone embodies the stereotype that you perceive or have heard about at all. How many, There are fucking billions of people passed over and over and over in generations. Okay, so what if a stereotype presents itself a couple times? Not everyone is like that. So it's like, bro, I don't think, it just upsets me and frustrates me. It's just like, bro, I just see people as a blank slate until proven otherwise. Then if something else it builds up and it's like enough of this, well, then maybe you might fit into that category. However, I'm not going to judge you solely and completely based off any of that. Because the same person, because I've seen a lot of shit. There's some horrible people out there that'll do nice stuff. So it's like, how many, I don't know. Like, if you go through your life and a bunch of people have always helped you out, done nice stuff to you, and you've always been lucky like that, right? If you were to analyze that and see, were those good people that helped me? Or do they just, in your eyes, maybe a fucking murderer had jumped your car one time. You didn't know that, So it's like, what if your whole life, everything seemed positive for you, but all the people that helped you along the way in these small increments, are just evil people. That's kind of crazy. And it's like a statistical kind of numbers game. But through living generations and generations, billions of people have lived and lived out these causal relations. So, in summation, going back to everything with the big U and all this type of stuff, it's like, bro, like this mix of things that YouTube has become, obviously people are going to use it and utilize it for different reasons, So you really don't know. You just got to take it for face value and assess and be an independent thinker. But god damn, bro, this should be crazy, man. Big Baby, bro. That was my dog, bro. I'm like, yeah, he's hilarious. Because he just gets loaded. Dude just gets loaded and is like having a good time. But he guess he's having too good of a time. He's having much too good of a time. So it's like, bro. And another thing too, it's like, bro, how are you gonna be on a live stream and like, bro, this is like one of the last lives he was on, and the purple, you know what I'm saying? Awful lot of cough syrup drip. He pulls it. It's like a pistol, just right there. It's just like obvious. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You're a felon. So he's got to be working. Big Baby's got to be working. He's got to be, you know what I'm saying? Because he's been on shit, you know what I'm saying? Got caught with some shit. And then literally like 3, 4, 5 days ago, he like does a little stretch and you see it's like a Glock. A little clip, magazine sticking out a little bit. I'm like, are you serious? So it's almost like some people say it was doing it intentionally. And I wouldn't put it past these people. And I wouldn't put it past police to, you know what I'm saying? Leave a rogue element in the social sphere and allow him to do these things, right? Allow him to keep up, you know what I'm saying? Do what he wants and there's no consequence immediately because they're utilizing him. And then they'll burn. Like, if anyone's seen Burn Notice, it's kind of some shit like that. Like, bro, they just burn you out, bro. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? That's where human life, the threshold is like, it's very relative, bro. Because you could be a very important person, but in the right scenario, you are nothing. And you will be expended. And there's going to be an excuse made about why. You know? It's like, oh shit, bro, we just did this to this person. Oh my God, no one can ever know about that. Yeah, you never hear about it. If that person has enough power. So I was like, should be crazy, bro. So I just try to stay in my lane, personally. And not do anything to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be Big U. Give me millions of dollars. Give me double whatever he's ever made in his life. If you took every dollar Big U made in his life and multiply that twice, exponentially, I would not trade his existence for mine. Neither should you. But that's like the degree of difference. I'm really spitting some shit on here, bro, for real. I'm just testing the waters though. Just really trying to just ramble until like 1,000 people come in here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Oh, shit. Right when I show my face, like, people start coming. So, basically, what I've been talking about is just, like, this whole, kind of some deep philosophy behind this whole situation. About trust, about loyalty, about people being real or fake, under what conditions, certain conditions. Because all that's a variable. I don't even know how to do calculus, but if you can think in levels of calculus and understand like why they do calculus, you can benefit yourself. Think in stacks and layers and multiple things that interact with each other at one time. And then you can, you know what I'm saying? Then you can understand like, and people do it intuitively. So it's like, yeah, you're being nice to me, okay? Well, what if you're only being nice to me? Because in the background, there's, you know what I'm saying, some agenda, some motive, right? Unless you're cognizant, you cannot defend against that. So it's very difficult and it's very important. So one thing I will push on this channel is that obviously, not obviously, but nothing is coincidence. In my opinion, I do not believe in coincidences. I'm not going to ever give a perspective that has, you know what I'm saying, allows a coincidence because I do not believe it. Every micro detail on some level can be organized, can be arranged. So it's just like, I do not believe that. Everything is purposeful. Everything is intended. That happens on a massive level. Because for anything massive to happen, you have to have a massive energy, either organic or inorganic, right? So that can be manipulated, can be modulated, can be made different. So, that's just like, so I don't believe in coincidences, especially if they keep talking about it forever and ever. There's a reason you hear about anything. So just remember that. And I don't even like I'm really just like trying this YouTube shit, like for real. Like I had a video go viral, but it wasn't me. It's just like I'm clipping. Nice little video go viral. It was pretty sick. You know? Had a few little videos go viral. Got me some, some subs. So now really I'm just kind of test the waters. Like see what's going on. I've been on live for 30 minutes. I don't know, like, I'm just like spitting facts, spitting off the dome. You know?